This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Teen charged. Police accused a 16-year-old boy of threatening to bring weapons to Citadel High School.
Farming factor. We take a look at how the agriculture industry is shaping the race for Kings-Hants.
And off course, how this Spanish racing pigeon ended up in Nova Scotia.
Showers rolling in this evening into the overnight, lingering into Friday morning, then back into a few sunny breaks. Your full forecast is coming up.
A 16-year-old Halifax boy is facing several charges after allegedly threatening to bring weapons to a local high school.
Police say they arrested the teen shortly after learning about a credible threat to a school near the city's downtown. The CBC's Josh Hoffman has the details.
Clearly, they are very serious threats in terms of relation to weapons in the school. It's very serious.
Halifax Regional Police Chief Don McLean isn't sharing many details about what led to a boy being arrested at his home at 3 a.m. Wednesday. But he says police believed a threat against Halifax Citadel High School was credible enough to act immediately.
I can say there were a number of weapons recovered, multiple, including firearms and ammunition, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of an actual number.
According to court arguments, police were tipped off to the threat by suicide prevention hotline operators, who called police after the accused phoned the hotline and said he wanted to shoot up Citadel High, then take his own life. The teen is a student at Citadel High, and the boy's identity is protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. McLean did say police don't believe the threats were directed at any specific individuals, but rather the school in general.
While it is natural to react to these type of events with fear, I do urge people to also react with compassion. Youth who consider violence as their last resort have been facing their own struggles and can be difficult to understand.
Most Citadel High students who CBC News spoke to didn't seem to know much about the arrests while they were on lunch break Thursday afternoon. One said he only learned about it when a friend showed him the police news release while they were in class. He said he doesn't know who the boy is, but hopes any student who needs mental health support asks for help.
I'm pretty sure our school feels definitely accepting and would help students if they are in struggle. So I think every student who does struggle with stuff like this should definitely go and help with the school.
The arrest of the 16-year-old is the latest incident involving schools and violence in the Halifax area. In 2023, a 16-year-old stabbed 2 staff members at Charles P. Allen High School in Bedford. Last year, 4 teenagers were charged after a student was stabbed to death in a mall parking lot next to a junior high. The president of the Nova Scotia Teachers Union says these are just the incidents that make headlines.
There are so many incidences that occur right across this province in all levels of our school, and it happens regularly. I mean, you look last fall, the Auditor General released a report on violence in schools and, said that successive governments have let this go.
The 16-year-old boy appeared in court on Thursday morning and is expected to remain in custody until a bail hearing next week. In the meantime, he has been ordered to not have any contact with any students at Citadel High. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
Police in the province say a recent senior's death was the result of intimate partner violence. A man who was arrested and charged with attempted murder last month will now face a murder charge after the victim of the attack died in hospital. On March 28th, RCMP say an 84-year-old man was stabbed in a home on Highway 3 in Mill Village. Police arrested a 60-year-old man who was also from the community. Today, they've announced that the charge against Derek Dominics has been upgraded to second-degree murder. He's still in custody, and he'll be back in court next month.
The federal riding of Kings-Hants is the province's agricultural hub, and the Liberal incumbent who's running for re-election is trying to make hay out of that fact. Taryn Grant brings us that story.
In the eyes of politicians, farmers like Catherine Manning are not just farmers, they're voters. Many Nova Scotia farmers live in the federal riding of Kings-Hants, and they're looking for a federal government that will help their industry.
There's so many uncertainties right now, and not just with the geopolitical stuff, but with the climate.
Liberal candidate Cody Blois is trying to show that he'll stand up for agriculture in Ottawa. That's why some of his campaign signs are not Liberal red and have no mention of the party.
There's a lot of farmers in Kings-Hants. Not all are Liberal farmers, of course.
Liberals are ahead in the public opinion polls nationally. But this political science professor says in this riding, the Liberal brand can only carry a candidate so far.
Despite the fact that it has been a Liberal riding for 20 years, I don't think anyone here would call it a Liberal riding.
Crandall says Blois is wise to lean into local interests. It doesn't hurt that he was named agriculture minister shortly before the election call.
He made a very deliberate decision to campaign hard in the riding as a strong local representative, and I actually do think that that's going to pay off.
Blois's closest competition is Conservative Joel Hurdle, a one-time municipal councillor and a former tire builder at Michelin. He's been the subject of some controversy during the campaign. 7 years ago, he made critical comments on Twitter about the Me Too movement. Those comments recently resurfaced, sparking angry chatter online and a small protest in Wolfville.
In Parliament. Hurdle has no place in Parliament. We don't consent to Joel Hurdle. Don't consent to Joel Hurdle.
Hurdle wouldn't speak to CBC News. The Conservative Party says he regrets the comments. Kings-Hants voters will also have the choice of Paul Dewar of the NDP.
I also want to be sure that post-election we have a country with a strong social safety net, including a very strong healthcare system.
Karen Beasley for the Greens and Alex Cargill of the PPC are also running. Taryn Grant, CBC News, Falmouth.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre was in Halifax today, where he said his party will scrap Canada's electric vehicle sales mandates if elected.
This is an attack on your paycheck, and it's a direct hit to the auto workers. Independent economist Dr. Ross McKittrick estimates that this Liberal ban on gas-powered vehicles and the attacks that it applies on the remaining vehicles that are allowed to be sold will kill 38,000 Canadian auto sector jobs and cost our economy $138 billion.
The federal government has mandated that 20% of all new vehicles sold must be electric by 2026 and 100% by 2035. Poilievre calls the EV mandates a carny tax, saying they will cost consumers more, and Canadians should be able to choose what kind of vehicle they drive.
Meanwhile, Poilievre held a rally in Trenton last night. That's in the riding of Central Nova. He spoke to a packed room full of people holding signs that read change. In attendance were former MPs Elmer MacKay and Peter MacKay and Conservative candidate for the riding, Bryson Jenkins.
And with us here in studio now, Ryan Snoddon.
And a lovely spring day out there.
Yeah, it cleared nicely, especially western and central areas. The cloud remained pretty capped today across the east, but yeah, it was really not a bad spring day overall. A similar story for Friday. We're going to see some showers moving through overnight, more so the late overnight in the west, and then into Friday morning across the rest of the province. And then we'll see some clearing again, west, then central. This is where temperatures are going to pop into the teens. Those showers will linger into the afternoon for the east. That's why temperatures are going to be cooler under mainly cloudy skies here. Winds are going to be relatively light, but there will be a bit of a sea breeze. And there is the front that's going to be, or the trough rather, that's going to be moving through with those showers. Again, primarily Friday morning, but a lingering chance in the east even into the afternoon. Weekend watch. Saturday looks pretty quiet. Maybe a shower chance along this warm front, but overall Saturday is going to be dry. And then it's Saturday night in through Sunday. Periods of rain, some gusty winds as well, which will linger into Sunday. We'll talk all about it with your weekend forecast and your 7-day coming up.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
The provincial government is investing more money to help municipalities fund infrastructure projects. 35 projects across the province will receive over $26 million for various upgrades to things like storm and wastewater systems, disaster mitigation projects, and accessibility efforts.
Our population is growing. All of these systems, it puts stress on those. And so that added stress, any system, then, you very quickly identify weak points or things that you need to fix.
Lohr says municipalities were notified about the funding at the beginning of this year. He says he cannot speak to whether any of the projects have started yet, but all of them are ready to get underway this year.
As temperatures rise, so too does the amount of ticks. That's why the Nova Scotia government is warning residents to be cautious of the growing tick population in the province. Nova Scotia is home to several kinds of ticks, including the black-legged tick, which is known to transmit diseases such as Lyme disease and anaplasmosis. Ticks like moist and humid environments and can often be found in areas of high vegetation, such as tall grass, shrubs, urban parks, gardens, and forests.
Parks Canada employees recently found a Spanish racing pigeon on Sable Island. But how did this bird end up on such a lengthy journey, thousands of kilometers across the Atlantic Ocean? The CBC's Juliana Grillo has more on this story.
This pigeon has taken the trip of a lifetime, traveling across an ocean from its home in Spain to a remote island off Nova Scotia. The pigeon, identified by the number 9550, was released on February 22nd from a truck in Ibiza. From there, the pigeon was supposed to fly to Majorca, over the Mediterranean Sea. Instead, the pigeon turned up a month later on Sable Island, more than 5,000 kilometers away.
It's surprising that it got there when it could have been found anywhere else.
The Parks Canada employees on the island have nicknamed the bird Peter. They learned it came from the Spanish Balearic Islands thanks to its leg brace.
It seemed really weak. After a day of hanging out near the buildings, it hadn't moved, it hadn't flown.
Penn says it's unusual for pigeons to end up in Sable Island, which is almost 300 kilometers away from Halifax. Her theory is that at some point in its journey across the Atlantic Ocean, Peter likely decided to rest on a cargo ship and flew to the island from there. Penn took care of Peter for a week before putting the bird on a cardboard box and sending it to a wildlife rehabilitation center in Nova Scotia. An employee there says when Peter first arrived, the bird was in rough shape.
He was thin, obviously hadn't been eating, was dehydrated. On closer inspection, we realized he did have a wound on it's called the keel bone, which is kind of like the bone that goes down the middle of a bird's chest.
Peter is now in a stable condition and has gained some weight. Fernandez is happy to hear his bird is being well cared for. He's open to letting Peter stay or bringing it back to Spain, whichever is best for the animal. He says traditionally, racing pigeons are not named until they achieve something big. And Peter has more than earned its name for this international feat. Juliana Grillo, CBC News, Halifax.
Yeah, Peter's well-traveled.
I'm rooting for Peter, yeah.
Well, a partnership between students at Truro Middle School and NSCC has grown and filled some bellies in the process.
The college is working with the young students to teach them how to grow their own food in aeroponic towers. They also conducted a survey shedding light on how food insecurity is an issue in the community.
They presented their findings and homegrown dinner at a community meeting in Truro earlier this month. The CBC's Lauren Ella Burke went to learn how they did it.
We found out that 30% of the people that took the survey were food insecure and that they had to skip meals and change their diet because of the cost of all the fresh produce.
Thank you so much. Or here, I'll give you a bit more pasta. There you go. Thank you.
This evening, we grew kale exclusively on 2 towers, and we had some kale on a 3rd one. So that is providing all of the kale for approximately about over 100 people that are here this evening.
And there you go. Enjoy your meal.
We have this machine. It's a beauty, and basically we grow plants in this. And you might be asking how we do it, how we do this process. So basically 40 liters of water, and then you will put it right there, inside there. And then inside that you would also put nutrients. And after that, after all the liquids things, you would take the seeds.
And you put it in this little circle to keep it damp while it grows so it doesn't get dried out.
Like all that's going on.
I hope to see more events like this in the future and more people coming together.
There's a beauty shot of Halifax today. Ryan's up next with his full weather forecast. We're back after this.
Yeah, the sun shining in Halifax today, still shining this evening in the city.
But it is spring in Nova Scotia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Be prepared.
Things are going to cloud up overnight. We'll see some showers in the mix for Friday, but some sunshine also, especially into the afternoon. So that's some good news. Clouds will remain more capped for the east tomorrow, and that's kind of been the story today as well. As we look at our webcam snapshot, and this from Highland Village in Iona in beautiful Cape Breton, and you can see the clouds. Yeah. Pretty stubborn there, but the sun's trying, at least, and it will turn partly cloudy there for tonight. And then, as I said, clouding up yet again for tomorrow. As we look at the current temperatures, you can see it's just yeah, basically 4 to 8 degrees across Cape Breton, 3 in Cheticamp to be exact, with an onshore flow there. Temperatures across the mainland ranging from 3 in Canso to 15 in Shelburne. That is no doubt our hotspot there in the southwest of the province. Now, as we look at those winds, yeah, not too bad, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, not too gusty out there either. And we'll look at the satellite and radar picture. This really kind of tells the story, right? You can see that cloud that has been dominant across Cape Breton and the North Shore, the Eastern Shore, and into the Truro region. This is where it's been, stubborn today. Been mixing out quite nicely here for western and central areas, and this is going to be the case again for tomorrow as we watch the tail end of this trough swing through and then things starting to clear out. High pressure anchored to our south, that trough will kind of run into that high and fade away, but not before bringing us a few showers. And this is the system that's gathering steam that will bring us the shot of rain as we move into the weekend. So yeah, temperatures you can see surging up with that system. 18 in Toronto, 22 in New York City. Not really going to be tapping into that warm of an air mass, but temperatures again will be bumping up as we move into next week, thankfully, as we'll show you with that 7-day forecast in just a moment. Temperatures ranging between about -2 and +3 or 4. Mildest here in through the southwest as that next system does sail through. Now, let's show you the timeline of this with your hour by hour, and we'll see those clouds kind of building in more so over the west and a chance for showers before morning and into the early morning across western and then pushing into central areas as well. Note it's going to be a dry start, and I do think we'll see some sunny breaks. Cape Breton and the east of the mainland on Friday morning. So we'll want to make sure you've got the sunglasses handy there. And then the clouds will thicken up. We'll see the shower chances pushing in through the afternoon for eastern areas, but watch the west here. That's where we'll start to see the sunshine. And because the sun will pop out, temperatures will, yes, warm nicely. Looks like we could see temps, as you can see there, approaching 16, 17 degrees in through Keji. Now for Friday, temperatures across Cape Breton are going to be really variable. It's an onshore wind, and so inland around the Bredor Lakes and Highland Village will likely be in and around the 10, 11 degree mark for Friday, but single digits along the coast. Guysborough, similar story, likely in and around the 8-9 range. Canso near 6, Sherbrooke, Antigonish near 10, and then we'll be looking at temperatures variable with a light onshore flow, 10 to 14 in through the metro area. Onshore flow for Tatamagouche, but inland 14 for Truro, and then back into the west. Similar story here. Onshore flow, temperatures in the single to low double digits near the coast, but inland 15, 16, 17 degrees, and the valley will also warm nicely into the afternoon. Yarmouth likely near 13 with those that sunshine breaking through. Okay, the weekend. So slight risk of a shower right along that warm front as it comes in, and that will time out for Saturday morning. So a chance for a shower with that, but it looks to be fairly isolated with that high anchored off to the south and east. The clouds do look fairly stubborn. Can't rule out a break or two. And then note the wettest of weather is set to roll in through Saturday late afternoon, more so the evening, and this is when that system will really start to track in, is the late part of the day. Temperatures ranging between 8 and 12 degrees on Saturday. The wind's picking up from the southeast. As the system moves through, it's a southwest wind. Heaviest rain Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then we're going to see some gradual clearing into the afternoon for the west, but Sunday looks pretty damp for most. 20 to 40 millimeters for the northern parts of the province, and it looks like 40 to 50 to 60 millimeters Tri-County and along the Atlantic coastline. So this is going to be a pretty substantial shot of rain, and you can see showers into Monday, but some brighter skies towards mid next week. Tom and Amy.
We have that to look forward to.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Coming up, the Nova Scotia Teachers Union reacts after a teenager allegedly threatened to bring firearms to school. Teachers say today's thwarting of what police are calling a credible threat to bring firearms to Citadel High School in Halifax further underlines the issue of security and safety at schools. A 16-year-old student has been charged in the incident. Peter Day is the president of the Nova Scotia Teachers Union. Sir, I know we can speak, or I can't really speak to the details of what happened today in Halifax. We're still trying to learn about that, but sort of an overarching thought, I wonder if you could begin with, what are you thinking about when you hear about this incident?
Well, deeply concerning. Anytime, you talk about the possibility of weapons being in a school, that's got to be concerning for everyone, for the teachers, for the students, for the parents, all members of our school community. It's a scary thought to think that this can happen in our schools.
Sadly, we're getting more and more experience with it. We had the stabbing attack at CPL in 2023, and then the killing of the student at the Halifax Mall here, which is involving a dispute that started or involved at least school life. It's pretty heavy stuff. Are you seeing any improvements despite those kinds of headlines? Are you seeing any improvements in terms of the decreasing level of violence in classrooms or increased safety for teachers?
It's unfortunate, but no, I really overall I don't see an improvement. And I speak to teachers, members on a regular basis. I hear from parents who are concerned, and you named a few incidences that are extremely tragic, and they're the ones that the public is made aware of. There are so many incidences that occur right across this province in all levels of our school, and it happens regularly. I mean, you look last fall, the Auditor General released a report on violence in schools, and said that successive governments have let this go, and unfortunately, it appears that that's a continuing trend.
And yet, in recent months, last fall, I believe, the province did announce that it was hiring 47 specialized staff to, prevent as best they can or address violence in Nova Scotia schools. What difference is that making?
Well, I mean, that was a pilot program, and it was a step, a very limited step, but it's a positive step. But that's not going to fix 370 schools in our province that have violence occurring regularly. A comprehensive plan needs to be put in place. Resources need to be put in place. This government has to want to invest in our school systems to ensure that they're a safe environment for our students and for all our educators.
And so when the province talks about specialized staff and you talk about staffing levels, what are you getting at there?
Well, when you look at, we have so many mental health issues that are occurring in our schools. So our school psychologists, our school counselors, these teacher specialists who work with our students day in, day out, they're overwhelmed and they're struggling to meet the needs of those students because caseloads are so high. We have classrooms that are well over cap, and many of them are, and teachers are struggling to meet the needs of their students. So this all compounds and makes schools a much more difficult place to be in for students and for staff alike. Teachers need to have that time to build those relationships so they can address needs of students, so that they can work with students and develop those relationships that would make the school a better place to be. These resources we're seeing are not being put in place. Teachers are struggling. Our teacher specialists are struggling. Our school counselors and our school psychologists have caseloads that are far too high.
And so is classroom size a part of that as well then?
Oh, I believe so. I believe a real step in the right direction would be addressing classroom sizes. If we were able to have smaller class sizes where teachers are able to appropriately address the students in front of them, when you start getting well over the amount of students that you can talk to on a regular basis, you're not meeting those students' needs.
So that makes for better learning, for sure, I would think. But when it comes to trying to diagnose violence or prevent violence, what is the role of the teacher in that?
Well, I absolutely think that that would address violence and prevent violence. Many of these students, like I said, there are different issues. There are different needs that students have. We have many students with unique learning. We have students with mental health issues, and being able to build those relationships, being able to communicate and make those connections with students goes a long way to the safety of the school community. Many of these students, want to feel accepted and want to feel like they're a positive part of the school community. And having those relationships with teachers will go a long way to improving, in my opinion.
Are we getting to the point where we need security or more security in schools?
Well, I can tell you that putting security in schools, it's a Band-Aid. It's going to address the symptom, but if we really want to change that culture in our schools, I believe making sure that we have the resources available. And when I say resources, I'm talking about human resources, time, again, to give our educational experts to address, the concerns that are in the schools.
Peter Day, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, as Election Day approaches, homeless shelters are helping people in need cast their ballot.
And safe third country, how a family of 4 was jailed in the U.S. for weeks after Canadian border guards turned them away. Welcome back. Liberal leader Mark Carney is confirming that Donald Trump did make a 51st state comment on their call last month, but also insisted that the U.S. president was respectful towards Canada.
It comes after the leader was questioned over the framing of the call following new details released in a Radio Canada report. The CBC's Ashley Burke has the latest.
Liberal leader Mark Carney faced questions about if he was truthful and transparent with Canadians about his call with Donald Trump last month. After the two leaders spoke on March 28th, I asked Carney about it. He said Trump respected Canada's sovereignty in his private and public comments. But Radio Canada learned Trump did bring up Canada being a 51st state on that call. Asked by journalists about it today, Carney confirmed that's true, but said he was being truthful.
You said that President Trump respected Canada's sovereignty both privately and in his public conversations.
He did.
Were you being truthful?
Look, the president has certain things in his mind that he reverts back to all the time. But treated me as the prime minister, not as something else. I'm not even going to say the word he used to use about my predecessor. Treated me as the prime minister. We agreed as sovereign nations that these negotiations will begin after the election on Monday. And that is how it was reported back, and that's absolutely accurate.
Carney has based his entire campaign around his pitch that he's the best one to take on Donald Trump and win the trade war. The Liberal leader's message again today is just how real that threat is, especially after Trump said just yesterday Canada as a state works great and suggested auto tariffs could go up. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Richmond.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is trying to hold on to seats held by his party. He's giving speeches aimed directly at the party's base and drawing a contrast to the Liberals. The CBC's Marina von Stackelberg is following his campaign.
Jagmeet Singh's team is in Winnipeg, trying to shore up support for another at-risk NDP seat. Elmwood-Transcona, a working-class and suburban riding here, has almost always been won by the New Democrats. But in last fall's by-election, the NDP only held on to it by a thin margin, with the Conservatives coming in a close second. Polling suggests the NDP may suffer significant losses on election night. Even Singh's riding is at risk. This is his third election campaign, but he has failed to grow his party in any substantial way. He continues to be asked about his future.
Mr. Singh, it's hard to see how your leadership is not on the line in this election. So what metric are you using to determine whether or not you stay or you leave?
What's on the line in this election are working people and everyday families. That's what's on the line. That's what I'm focused on. We got 4 days left of this campaign, and we got working people out here. We got middle-class families out here wondering who's going to fight for me? Who's going to stand up for me? I'm never going to back down for fighting for those folks.
Singh is very much on message track. Increasingly, he gives the same sort of response to reporters no matter what question we ask. He continues to focus his attacks on Mark Carney, saying the Liberal leader is not interested in helping everyday Canadians. He points to Carney's time in the private sector, a sign he says that Carney is only focused on making money for billionaires. Meanwhile, Carney is trying to pull in new Democrat voters and has been following Singh's campaign route the last few days. After this campaign left Vancouver Island, Carney's team arrived, campaigning in ridings previously considered a new Democrat stronghold. And as Singh's plane lifts off from Winnipeg, the Liberal leader is expected to land here. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Encouraging people to get out to vote has been a big focus ahead of Election Day. That includes homeless people who can face barriers when it comes to having their say. The CBC's Josh Crabb looks into how some shelters in Winnipeg are working to eliminate those hurdles.
He doesn't have a permanent address. Edward Parisian says that won't stop him from voting.
I always watch about it on the news about who's running, prepare and all that, and I noticed that they gave us a form and they told us it's voting time.
Parisian is staying at the Salvation Army's Centre of Hope, one of several homeless shelters in Winnipeg's inner city. Elections Canada wants to make sure people like Parisian can have their say on issues that directly affect them: the cost of living, homelessness, and a lack of affordable housing.
We go try to rent the place. It's hard to get a place because I don't know, there's not enough here.
Not having a place to live is one barrier to voting. So is a lack of identification, transportation, and access to campaign promises. Margot Ross with Salome Mission says that shouldn't stop people from taking part.
We'll have drop-in staff who hold the strongest relationships with our community members, encouraging folks to go out and vote.
Elections Canada workers have been visiting shelters like Salome Mission to give letters to staff so they can vouch for the people who use their services to prove their identity. Cindy Titus with Main Street Project says outreach workers helped 17 people vote in advance polls, and she says they're working to get more people out on Election Day.
The folks that we serve have a lot of other things going on, and that they made voting a priority in their days, that's a pretty big deal.
They're also providing information on the candidates and their platforms. Parisian compliments the effort to get more people to vote, but would like to see more outreach.
Maybe more people should come out here and walk around and tell us.
Parisian has voted before and hopes more people take advantage of the opportunity. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
At least 12 people are dead in Ukraine's capital after a Russian barrage of missiles and drones. 90 more were wounded. The strike prompted a rare statement of criticism against the Kremlin from Donald Trump. The CBC's Crystal Gamansing reports.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia attacked his country with roughly 70 missiles and 150 drones. In the capital, 12 buildings were hit, according to Kyiv's mayor. It is being described as one of the deadliest days in months. Those who experienced it described their homes collapsing around them.
There was a quick, sudden explosion, and the ceiling started to come down. A wardrobe in the corridor and one of the walls from the next door apartment fell down on me. In the room, one of the neighbors' walls fell down too. Everything kept falling down, crumbling.
U.S. President Donald Trump responded to the attacks, posting on his Truth Social page, "I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv. Not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get a peace deal done." A different tone from yesterday when speaking to reporters in the Oval Office on Wednesday, he called out the Ukrainian president.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky so far. It's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both.
The U.S. has been pressuring Ukraine to accept a proposal to end the war that reportedly includes conceding territory that Russia illegally annexed. Zelensky says Ukraine cannot accept anything that goes against his country's values or its constitution. He expressed condolences to the families of those killed today, cut his trip to South Africa short, and called for increased air defense support from allies.
C'est qu'enfin le président Poutine arrête de mentir.
French President Emmanuel Macron expressed his support for Zelensky and Ukraine, saying no one can expect Zelensky to accept ceasefire terms while Kyiv is being bombarded. Friday has been declared a day of mourning in the capital by the mayor of Kyiv. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
A family from El Salvador was held in a cell in New York State for 2 weeks last month after they tried applying for asylum in Canada. One of the imprisoned family members was a 4-year-old. Their case is raising questions about Ottawa's safe third country agreement with Washington. CBC's Jorge Barrera has the story.
La verdad, íbamos muy felices porque
Araceli still remembers the joy her small family felt as they walked across the Rainbow Bridge toward Canada. They could see Canada just ahead, she says, while leaving behind the U.S., where the Donald Trump administration has begun a crackdown to remove millions of undocumented immigrants. For Araceli's safety, we are not showing her face or revealing her full name. Araceli says she gave Canadian border guards documents proving her brother is a Canadian citizen, key to a refugee claim in Canada.
Araceli qualifies to seek asylum in Canada under an exception to an agreement that we have between Canada and the U.S. called the Safe Third Country Agreement.
But the Canada Border Services Agency turned them back twice over small differences in family names and birth certificates, a sign CBSA is taking a harder line.
I've never seen a determination before that was so nitpicky on discrepancies.
The rejection by Canada landed the family in a holding cell at the U.S. port of entry in Niagara Falls, New York, for 2 weeks in conditions not suitable for a family, something happening more and more, says this advocate.
There's kids young enough to be in diapers who are being locked up.
Teníamos 4 camitas.
Araceli draws the cell that held her common-law husband, and 2 daughters, aged 14 and 4 years old. No windows, they slept on cots.
Y aquí estaba el baño.
The toilet and sink behind a low wall.
The Trump administration has basically ended the asylum system.
This lawmaker says Canada should know the U.S. is no longer a safe place for asylum seekers.
It's not a safe situation. It's extraordinary.
Araceli's family, while still in the U.S., is now separated. She has a hearing scheduled for Christmas Eve. Free but living with fear she could be deported to El Salvador at any moment, while her husband, in immigration custody, could face that fate in May at his scheduled hearing.
That report from the CBC's Jorge Barrera.
Over 1,000 people in Ontario have been infected with measles so far this year. And with cases on the rise in Alberta, too, public health authorities are worried the highly preventable disease may once again become endemic to Canada. The CBC's Jennifer Yoon reports.
We're only in April, and 2025 is already a record-smashing year for measles in Canada. Ontario and Alberta are both grappling with the biggest outbreaks in over a quarter century. Ontario is reporting 1,018 cases and 6 kids hospitalized, while Alberta is reporting 129 cases and 9 hospitalizations. The vast majority of those infected are not fully vaccinated, meaning they have not received 2 doses of the MMR vaccine. Most of those infected are also kids who can suffer serious complications, even death from measles.
The more measles there is, the harder it is to control, the more contact tracing, the more resources it takes, and of course, the more risk to individuals, especially the young children who seem to be the ones who are getting the most infected.
With how widely measles is spreading in some communities, Bowdish says she's heard from some Canadians wondering if they should get a 3rd dose of the measles vaccine.
If you can't find your vaccination status, if you came from parts of the world that don't have this childhood measles, if you are worried that your parents might not have vaccinated you as a child, our recommendation is just get vaccinated.
Your doctor can also order a blood test to check if you have antibodies against the virus, in certain conditions, like if you are pregnant.
In Canada, that isn't standard practice in most jurisdictions because there just hasn't been measles around. But as we move to an era where we have a lot more measles around, I personally am very supportive of pregnant women or people who are planning on starting a family getting this tested because they really do need to be protected from measles.
Measles was declared eliminated from Canada in 1998, but there are real fears that it might once again take root in Canada. If the virus continues to spread in the community for 6 months, Canada would lose its elimination status. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, beavers are getting a little too busy in a community outside of Montreal, at least to some of the local residents' liking.
Trees are coming down at a surprising rate. The CBC's Paula Dayan-Perez has the story.
Their presence on the shoreline of Edgewater Park is hard to miss.
Yeah, and we've never seen this before.
Some caught the culprits on camera.
One biologist I spoke to says this pile of branches and small trunks looks like beavers are set to take up residence here.
It looks like literally piled up material ready to be used for a dam and lodge creation.
Dredini says people are seeing more beavers because their population is growing. That's in part because rules were put in place to protect them after they were overhunted for their fur.
It shows you how much impact humans can have from just like changing one habit.
Oh, you can get a good view here because you see where the teeth are. I suspect that this tree has got a very limited time left.
Dre Dini says by building their dams, beavers create healthy ecosystems for other species like frogs and birds. Still, she says a 2014 study by the province warned that beavers could become an issue near cities as dams can cause flooding.
They're not a problem. They're a victory for us. That means we're starting to live properly with nature and our ecosystem's rebounding.
In April, the city of Pointe Claire put out an advisory to residents.
You don't mess with beavers. They're good for the environment. They're our friends. They're to be left alone. And
Thomas says shorelines are provincial jurisdiction, so the city can't do much.
Well, I'm trying to protect some of the trees with this chicken wire just to stop the beavers from taking them down. Like, especially over the winter, he took down a lot. Especially along the shoreline, there's barely any trees left compared to what there was before.
The city of Pointe Claire says the best way to coexist with the animals is to keep a respectful distance. People can also protect the trees on their property with chicken wire. Paulette Diane Perez, CBC News, Pointe Claire.
Canada's main stock index rose more than 250 points in a broad-based rally led by base metals. Let's look at the numbers as we head to break. Okay, we're a little up and down with the weather, but we're accepting, aren't we?
I think we just have to embrace the sunshine when we have it, and then just do something else when we don't.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, and at least we have had a little bit more in the way of sunshine for these past couple of weeks. It's coming and going, but at least it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. Grass is liking it.
The grass is liking it. Definitely a noticeable green up over the last couple of days, and the next couple of days will help with that. And let's have a look at our viewer picture. And this one, we're going to be zooming in just to the north of the town of Lunenburg. It is First Peninsula. And how about this shot?
Mm-hmm. That's very nice.
Craig May with a lovely sunrise shot there. And thank you so much to Craig for sharing this. Ryan Spix at cbc.ca. Okay, so the forecast for tomorrow, in First Peninsula and the Lunenburg area, with the wind coming in off the water, it's a light wind, but temperatures are likely closer to be around 9-10 degrees. Inland areas, we're going to be getting into the 13, 14, 15 degree range. I think Keji could hit 17 tomorrow. So it is going to be quite nice as that sunshine does break in after the showers in the morning. Showers lingering into the afternoon for eastern areas, including Cape Breton. Clouds dominating on Saturday, maybe a break of sun, but not overly optimistic on that. The southeast winds, as you can see with the wind arrows there coming in off the water, that's going to keep temperatures in the single digits along the Atlantic coastline, double digits inland. And this is the system that will be, again, there's that quick trough. That moves out. We'll see a bit of sun in behind that. There is the next system. Clouds dominating on Saturday, but for the most part, it's Saturday night into Sunday with those periods of rain and some gusty winds as well coming in with that system.
Okay, Ryan, thanks for that. Finally tonight, there are small dogs with big personalities, but they can also race. This is the moment the Corgi dogs raced head-to-head in an annual Corgi Derby in Scotland.
This year's event saw 4-year-old Juno race to victory. The race was first launched in 2022 to mark Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee.
Organizers say the Corgi Derby was created to celebrate the breed, which was the late monarch's favorite.
Go Corgi, go. That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.